later in the game. So I'm expecting that to be the exact same philosophy heading into this game against Carolina. Now, both teams have had their ups and downs over the last few games. The Lightning winning over the Red Wings 4-1, losing to the Blue Jackets 5-2, losing to the Sabres 8-7, beating the Leafs 5-2, losing to the Jets 4-1, and losing to the Wild 5-1. So coming back, they had a little bit of a not so high scoring start, but well, actually they kind of did. And then they had their dip, and now they're back to averaging 5-6 goals a game. Carolina, on the other hand, losing to the Blues 3-1, beating the Pens in a shootout 5-4, beating the Hurricanes 5-4, beating the Oilers 6-3, and the Canucks 6-4 over their last 5 games. So a little bit of so I can't get back to the main screen. Like I said, a little bit of a roller coaster ride for both sides. Both sides doing pretty well in the way of actually getting goals in the net. Earlier today, the Ducks failed at doing that in Ottawa, losing to the Senators 2-0. And then in the game we really considered, and I wish I would have been here for, the Bruins in DC against the Washington Capitals, ends in a 9-round shootout where the right post for Boston made 40% of the saves. Just absolutely beat it. Was it Jari that was in net? Who was in net for that game? Oh, it's up here. Hang on a second. Bruins. Swayman was in net, and man, he better be rubbing that post till it. Still too early. I got to be careful with YouTube, but he's gonna be rubbing that post to say thank you. Holy shit! I didn't even pay attention to the Avalanche and the Jets because I figured the Avalanche would win 8-0. The Jets beat the Avalanche 3-1. That is incredible. Also, the Rangers up 2-1 over the Wild. Still to come, our game here, the Maple Leafs and the Sabres in Buffalo, Kings and the Devils in New Jersey, Sharks and the Canadiens in Montreal, Flames and the Islanders in New York, Blue Jackets and the Flyers in Philly, the Red Wings and the Stars in Dallas, Penguins and the Mammoth in Utah, the Kraken and the Canucks in Vancouver, and of course Chicago heading into Vegas against the Golden Knights. So late, kind of a mid-game / late doubleheader. Got to try and wake my ass up, but we'll see how Detroit and Dallas goes. We do have a little bit of a breakup, so we'll have even though the Blue Jackets and the Flyers aren't exactly the most intriguing game, in my opinion, since that game starts at 4:30, we do have some filler while we wait for the Red Wings and the Stars to start at 5, and for this game to start the second period after intermission. It is looking like, are we waiting for the rain? No, we're not waiting. How is this game not started yet? Oh, it looks like it should be starting. So what's happening? Still on the commercial break, should be returning shortly. So what do we oh shit, I always do that. I keep forgetting what my hotkeys are, and I gotta stop the hotkeys. The Hockey Night, go Devils wink. Hey, you guys against the Kings have a great chance tonight. Let's see, I'm gonna say Jesus Christ, dude, I can't help. I thought I'd... Okay. What the hell is that? So I'm going to try and set up a poll. Hurricanes, lightning... let's say Hurricanes. We'll go Hurricanes by 1, lightning by 1. Hurricanes by 2 plus. Whoop, that's... Dude, why hang on a second. Something's not making sense to me right now. I got to figure out what's going on. All right, we brought that back. We got rid of that. Trash that because I don't even know what it is. Sorry, I keep hitting all my alerts while I'm trying to type this poll. There we go. All right, now I can actually get back to the Jets. All right. All right, so I got it up for who's gonna win. Are we doing one or are we gonna do empty net or buy one? Oh, right off the bat, the shot from Miller hits. I believe the crossbar went straight up, came right back down on Vazzy. That Johansson? No, that's Johansson, not Vasilevsky. Svechnikov gets way out in front. No, it isn't. It is Vasilevsky. And we've got a penalty coming right away. A quick shot. And Carolina has scored right off the bat. Wow. Yes, that was wild. It looked like Svechnikov and Tampa both expected the whistle, or both expected the play to be called dead for a moment. Svechnikov takes the puck right across the net, gets either slashed or hooked, and to draw the penalty. He's skating into the corner. Him and the guy that got the penalty were just kind of moseying into the corner like nothing happened. All of a sudden, the puck's up the wall, passed back down to Svechnikov, cutting across the middle. And 38 seconds in, Carolina is up 1-0 on the Lightning. This game might get spicy a lot quicker than I thought it would. Break into the high corner of the Carolina zone. The pass does not clear. Down to the low boards. Good cutoff towards the center of the ice, but he loses the puck. That was Chernak making a move off the low boards. Puck back in all the way down to, is it Markstrom? Anderson. Fuck, who's Mark? Why did I think Markstrom? Maybe I just got, anyway. Shot from way out high. Vasilevsky wanted to let it go. However, it was that, hang on. I can't figure out my teams right now on which side. McDonough just decided to scoop it up for Vasilevsky to take, but I mean, delayed penalty. Every single Tampa player was on the high side of the ice. So when and like I said, Svechnikov was skating around like Tampa looked like, oh, okay, it's a penalty, like we're done. But the whistle wasn't blown. Puck to the high point, shot by Miller, makes it through the Vasilevsky. Into the high corner. Tampa fumbles the puck. And now they've got no space. Kucherov makes a terrible pass across the middle, cut off by, was that Stahl? Hall. God bless it, dude. My again, my remember names right now is going to be a little rough, but we'll figure it out. Tanner Hall tries to get it up through neutral. Blake isn't able to gather it as he loses the puck. However, Tampa sends it down. It looked Carolina acted like it wasn't an icing. However, it was an icing. All right, injuries and scratches. Gosh to be here. Kokaniemi, this Dolores. I don't know. Kachekov. So you got a couple of names out of the lineup for Carolina. Carolina wins the face-off to the right of Vasilevsky. Keeps it in the zone to the low point. Shot. It's Vaz's blocker. And puck gets cleared out into neutral. Sent back around and up the wall. Carrier diving in hard. Goes against the boys for Tampa. And the puck is out the other way. And now it's a foot race. It was at Kokanee, or no, I just said that. Anyway, Carolina gets there first. That's what I wanted to say. Puck back out through neutral. And Tampa is looking sloppy. Carrier makes a little contact in neutral, and the Canes reset back in their own zone. Up ahead, Aho in on the low boards, all the way around to the high corner, takes a bump from Hedman and loses the puck. Tampa's able to get back into neutral, but this is not going to last long. Eagle actually fights his way down the low boards, waiting for holding the stick penalty that doesn't come. Eagle retrieves the puck in the low corner. Gets it out front. I think, is that? It was Gensel making a move around the back of the net. Back the other way. Tampa. Gord leaves it up at the high point. Shot comes in on Anderson. Is kicked all the way back around to the high point. Shot again goes wide into the low corner. Tampa trying to feed it out front as Chernak hit the top of the crease, but it gets sent all the way down. No icing. Okay. Ooh, just getting mobbed. Alstus trying to get out from behind his own net. Carolina picks it up. Shot from Miller off the top of the low circle. Glove by Vasilevsky. All right, let's see if I can. Okay. Point. I remember Point, Bjorkstrand, Gerson 28. I'm probably going to forget that. Homer, Gord, Hagel, Gensel, Sorelli, Kucherov, and Caldas. Okay. I might be able to remember a couple of those. Carolina, I'm going to be in trouble. That's why I thought it was Stahl. See, I knew I wasn't that off course. I just can't remember where anybody plays anymore. Face off on the left dot. Sorry, the low dot in front of Vasilevsky. Back behind the net. Puck doesn't make it out under heavy pressure. Tampa. Hagel's chip out stayed in. Battle in the high corner. Back around the net. And Tampa gets it clear, but now it's a race, and Sorelli wins it. Up the low wall, Hagel gets there first, gets pressed into the glass, but puck comes away. All the way back down into the opposite side. Nothing comes of it. Tampa's going to go right back out into neutral. Fuck me, I'm having a hard time right now. Another turnover in the Tampa zone. Carolina looking for a place to go. So appreciate, hey Z-Man, I appreciate you, buddy. For some reason lately, I think it's just because of how many games we've watched lately. The names and numbers are just a maze in my head. Plus, I haven't watched Carolina in quite a while. But I appreciate the vote of confidence. Shot comes in from the bottom of the high circle, wide onto the low board. Slavin sends it back down past Blake, past Hedman, and recovered in the high corner by Tampa all the way out. Kucherov not able to make a play on it, but there goes Tampa into the zone, trying to sneak it down low, and it does not connect. Mosier from the middle of the point skates it down the ice and goes off the left pad of Anderson into the low corner. Chip back out into neutral. Hedman resets it right back into Hurricane zone. Oh, big hit. I do not know if he avoided that contact down low, but it looked like Riley just got smoked. Now, the other way, Tampa trying to go in on the high boards. And they're not. Oh, they do control. Inside the circles, dragged around the front of the crease, and there's a hook. That was a hell of a job by Anderson. However, I think we got a hook. I'm sorry, I can't see the numbers on this. Who is that? It was Gergensons. Okay. I don't know. I swear I saw the ref put up his arm. Holy shit. We're on the struggle bus today, gentlemen. But it's all right. As long as we get it out of the way now so that we're good to go tonight when Chicago and Vegas are playing each other. That's the important game. So we'll get through the struggle bus in the first period. We'll take a minute, grab a snack, grab a drink during intermission. And hopefully the brain kicks on when we come back for second period. But plenty of time still left in the first to get going. 13. And so we did get a penalty. The Lightning are going on a power play. Oops, sorry. Let's see what's happening in all the other games. Rangers are now up 4-1 on the Wild. Man, hockey really has, especially now, is just who knows what's going to happen. Because if you'd have told me the Rangers would kick the shit out of Minnesota, I wouldn't believe you. And it's, 8:05 to go in the second. So there is a lot of hockey to be played. But that is a surprising stomp right now. The Sabres, very unsurprisingly, up 1-0 against Toronto in Buffalo. 52 seconds on the power play. Leafs haven't even taken a shot yet. Oh, well, it's not even quite 4 minutes into the game, but Sabres have 4 shots and a goal. They're on a power play. Leafs don't even have a shot. That's a rough start. Alexander Nikishin slashing on, I believe it was Gergensons in front of the crease as he swept across. No. Wait. It says Lightning. It says Lightning power play on the app. However, what I just saw was the Lightning slash in Carolina. The fuck? Wait. So Nikishin gets his stick slashed out of his hand and he's in the box for a slashing. That makes no sense to me. I obviously missed something. But we are on a Tampa Bay power play, as much as I really disagree with it. Who the fuck am I? Puck forced back by Stahl right at the blue line for Carolina. Pass up point, makes it across the middle of the blue line, sets it backwards, way too hard and way too far. Radish, low side of the red line, leads it back. Now point, enters again, going one-on-one right to the middle of the ice, and another pass that doesn't connect. Dude, Tampa, your teammates are wearing black. Pass down, backhanded down towards the net, and Carolina's going to clear. Vasilevsky has to play it away from Aho as he approaches. And now Point leaves it, or sorry, Perry leaves it for Radish. And now, dude, Aho's in there just throwing wrenches. Bjorkstrand off the low side pass, down the boards into the corner. Back to Bjorkstrand off his skate. He was not ready for it. Up to Hagel. He lets it go. Back to Hagel. Trying to get it into that high corner. But Carolina too aggressive and Tampa Bay too lazy. These passes are lazy. They cannot control the puck. They can't catch a pass to save their ass. This is not looking like the Tampa that we've seen, or that I've seen recently. I haven't watched too many Tampa games to be fair. However, this does not look like the Tampa I've seen recently. Big shot from Bjorkstrand goes wide off the backboard. Hagel whiffs on it on the high wall, but he's able to collect. Up to the blue line, down the low wall, circling back. And we are back to full strength hockey. Carolina clears. Robinson trying to get down, and he stopped at the Tampa blue line. And Tampa's going to get it back into neutral. Not very cleanly as Hall collects it back into the Tampa zone. A shot goes well wide. Carolina up the low boards to the point, but point for Tampa gets it up to Kucherov, who's able to swing it in back behind Anderson. Up the low boards, Stankoven gets it high on, gets pass high, pass out of the zone. Hall loses it at the red line, but Carolina able to reset through neutral and tip it in. Blake trying to chase it down against Hedman. But Hedman works it up the low boards, and Tampa is back the other way. With the Gergensen with some space on the high boards, gets it around, down low, low point, across the blue. Oh, Mosier trying to make a cheeky little play to Goncalves, couldn't connect. Right back in. Oh, Carolina loses it again. Oh, that was Holmberg, not Goncalves. I'm getting better, though. Tampa dumping it in. Carolina taking it right back out. This is kind of sloppy. Carrier get beat scored through neutral, but we have a delayed penalty coming on Tampa. Carolina with the extra skater and the empty net. Miller just skating around, nothing too aggressive. They definitely want to take their time here. Circling back. Zap Mick. Aho takes it across the blue line, goes high boards. It is stripped away by Tampa. And now we go to the Carolina power play. 9:20 to go in the first. Shots are 7 apiece. Carolina leading the charge. Right, let's see. 20 is Paul. 37 Gord. 3 is Gensel. All right. Should be able to figure Tampa out from now on. Good start. Good start. Still don't know what I'm expecting here. Tampa is not playing like I expected Tampa to play. So my original thought when it came to the poll was like I was thinking Lightning by 2 with an empty net. At least that's where I was leaning. However, Tampa hasn't made contact with anybody except to commit a penalty. It looked like down low, Riley might have gotten a hard hit back behind Anderson, but other than that, it was off to the side. Couldn't really see it. Other than that, Tampa Bay has not been the aggressive Tampa Bay that we're used to seeing. You would think, I would have thought right away, 38 seconds in, Carolina scores. Boom. Here comes Hagel. Here comes Gensel. Here comes everybody. Hedman just trying to drop shoulders, trying to drop bows, hitting guys hard into the boards. I mean, unless they got a talking to, and Coop's like, don't make, they were like, don't player safety, basically being like, hey, don't make us punish you, which is a joke. Just look at Gudas getting 5 games for the biggest bullshit knee I've ever seen. So the only thing I can think is the league talked to Tampa and threatened them with something. Because last game against Detroit, they looked exactly how they looked against Florida in the preseason, when there were 438 penalty minutes. So Tampa's going to need to find a spark. They're going to have to find some kind of jump to get going here, because they look like the worst team. They had the one opportunity across the front of the net where they drew the penalty, and that was that. Good stop by Vasilevsky off the shot from the top of the low circle. Collect by Carolina. Down low. Stahl sends it around. It gets shipped out to the front. Aho cannot get a stick on it. And now Hagel, who loses his helmet, has to go running off the ice. 44 for 198. Tied for 11. That's the Carolina power play. I didn't see the penalty kill. Penalty kill this season is 9th for Tampa, stopping 81.5. To the high corner, out to the point. Fed to the top of the low circle. Aho takes a shot, but it's Chernak there to get a stick on it and send it out of play. Yeah, so Aho wins the faceoff. Nikishin comes in and sends one, but Vasilevsky's ready with the blocker. That was a really dirty knee. Should be done for the year. Exactly, Wink. That was the dirtiest knee I've ever seen. And my dad mentioned this to me years ago, and I will die on this hill. If you make a dirty play and it is determined to be dirty, and like that, there's no question it was an intentional dirty play, you should be out as long as the player that you hurt is out. Matthews is done for the season. Well, guess what, Gudas? So are you. And if Matthews is never able to play again, well then, Gudas, maybe we'll let you back next year. But most likely go fuck yourself. And you actually start making actual punishments. You know, a guy hits somebody in the head and it breaks their jaw. They're done for 2 weeks. Well, so are you. That's the only way. Because Gudas got a phone meeting and 5 games. The captain of the Leafs, one of the guys the NHL is trying to protect because he is a face of a franchise, is done for the season. No matter what his struggles were this season, he's still Austin Matthews. Gold winning Olympic U.S. captain, right? Like, it is still Austin Matthews. You have Gudas, who has a history of this shit, and they give him 5 games over a phone meeting. That is embarrassing. Ooh, Blake couldn't work the puck up close. Knocked away by Vasilevsky. Who was that, dude? Fucking Gord. Instead of going for the puck, he tries to go for the breakout and doesn't connect. It wasn't the worst idea because you could see the chaser developing, but man, he should have been a little more aggressive towards the puck. Devil strike first. Nice. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. We'll go back to we'll check scores in a minute here, but right on. Devils up on the Kings. It should be a good game for you guys. Tampa dumps it in. And Slavin's back first. Chatfield can't get it out. Trying to work back down into the corner goes Tampa around the back of the net. Slavin. Nope, Chatfield's going to get it to Slavin, who exits the zone. He's getting chased down by Perry, but puck goes in to Vasilevsky, who backhands it to the low boards to Mosier, up to Perry to get out of the zone. But Sveshnikov trying to send it right back in from the blue line ends up going to the high boards, and puck ends up in the Carolina zone. Then it rushed the ice. Dude, that's the most embarrassing thing. Nobody did shit. Like, everybody's talking about how dirty Gudis is. Then everybody's talking about how pathetic the Toronto Maple Leafs are for not having their captains back. And then everybody's talking about the 5-game suspension. Dude, Gergensen's getting in and throwing hammers down to the ice and right back up. I can't see a number on the jersey. That was Jarvis, and Gergensen's going at it. I didn't see what caused it. Next thing I know, play stops, and there's Gergensen's throwing rights. Okay. Dude, why is Jarvie doing that? Let's go. Okay, hang on. Let's go and take another look at that hit. Oh, I can't. This one doesn't have the replay feature. Never mind. Damn. All right, we'll see it when we come back, because on that hit, I didn't necessarily see anything that really. I mean, it might have been a hair late. It was right at the blue line. He had it. I don't know. I appreciate Jar. I mean, since we're having the conversation about how soft and weak and bitch made Toronto is, Jarvis went right after a dude that hit him, and the hit was, we'll call it questionable. Gotta respect it. Don't know if it's necessarily worth Jarvis not being on the rink, but you gotta respect it comparatively. And it's funny, dude, all season I've been saying how Toronto is just no longer fun to watch. Like, all season they were soft. Domi had his flashes of wanting to be aggressive, but there's only so much you can do when your maximum reach is 4.5 feet. Like, he's a bad little motherfucker, but he ain't that dude. Especially because Max Domi is, props to Max Domi. I'm like, I joke, but I don't hate. However, when he was throwing punches at 6'6" Nick Hague in the playoffs when we were playing Dallas and Domi was on the Stars, dude, that shit was funny. He just laughed at him. Yeah, that's a clean hit. That's exactly what I was saying. So, like I said, Jarvis having his boys back at respect. However, you are Jarvis. You're Seth Jarvis. This is Gergensen. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're lucky you didn't. Because, I mean, he didn't quite connect as best as he could, but not a good fight for you, Jarvis. And it was a clean hit. So now you're risking getting your ass busted, but also you're done for 5 minutes. So I can understand you're in Tampa. Gergensen's is going to just want to drop it right away. Ooh, shot from the high dot, stopped by Anderson. Follow-up, whiffed on. Another follow-up, Kucherov off the low dot. Chatfield goes down hard. I think he got hit in the face. Kucherov swung hard from the low dot, and Chatfield went down instantly. I mean, yeah, he definitely, that was an Alec Martinez style, sacrifice the body to stop the puck right there. He goes, oh, wait. No. That thing barely, I mean, it caught him it caught his cheek, but that thing smacked the shit out of his hand and lost all energy for a little pop in the cheek. For him to be laying down like that, for it to be stopped, no. Okay, never mind. Good block. He turned his head. Like I saw his head turn. I'm like, wait, did that even hit his head? Hit his hand. But whatever. 35 seconds gone on the power play. Less than 5 minutes to go in the period. Point. Down low to Gensel. Low corner. Kucherov can't get the puck past the Carolina stick. And the Canes send it back to Vasilevsky. Radish collects in his own territory. Pressure from Aho, but gets the puck to point. Gensel, and Gensel's in, passing to Perry on the high wall, but Carolina goes right back out. Again, Tampa Bay just does not have the transitions right now. It's like on the power play of all things. Wait. They just look weak. Bjorkstrand leaves it back. Hagel into the low point. Kucherov goes across the blue line to Hedman. Pass to the top circle. Down to Hagel. Back to Kucherov on the low boards. And an aggressive stick by Miller cuts off the pass. Tampa is playing very lazy right now. Robinson tries to go back behind Vasilevsky. Tampa takes it the other way. Here's a good break. And Hagel shoots and he's stopped by the left pad of Anderson, who gets tripped by the skate of his own man. And now Hedman from the blue line can't get it past the man standing in front of him. And we are right back to full strength hockey. That was the first time Tampa didn't look fucking lazy. Puck fed in down low. Blake trying to cut across, but a good defensive play by Sorel. No, that's not Sorel. Who's that? Hang on. Oh, it was Bjorkstrand down low. Just all kinds of good contact happened. Oh, it's surprising, actually. After I talk shit about Tampa not hitting anybody, they're starting to make some good contact, but it's in order to bail themselves out. Ooh, Blake just went after somebody in the front of the net. Doustis, maybe? Yep. All right, so what are we seeing? Tampa Bay cannot pass. They cannot control the puck. Their best effort was on the power play. The last chance they got on the power play when a change actually broke Hagel up the high side. Everything else has been lazy. Pass around the boards. No one's skating to the puck. It's like, you know, in football, they say the receiver comes back to the ball. You don't catch it here. You catch it here. It's one of those things. Tampa is waiting for the puck, and then it's going the other way because Carolina is attacking the puck. So all Carolina so far, a couple of, 9 shots for Tampa, maybe 2 chances. Tampa's going to try and go the other way now. And Miller in the low corner takes a bump by Bjorkstrand to set it back out to neutral. Pass right back in by Tampa and right back out. Breakaway. Aho takes a shot. Stopped by the right pad. But he gets a rebound and he scores. Holy shit, that was crazy. Oh, I don't have my goal. Damn it. I can't remember my presets. There, we'll do this first. So Tampa makes a bad pass through neutral that sets the puck the other way. Aho ends up with a breakaway. He gets stopped by the right pad of Vasilevsky. Puck comes right past McDonough, who's just kind of not paying attention, and then gets fed right back to Aho for the follow-up on a wide open net. Dude, Tampa looks like shit. They need to start hitting something. Devils score again. Let's see. They up 2-0? Yes, they are. And on a power play? Ooh. Or did they, Wink, did they score on the power play or are they on the power play now? Puck up the low boards, just out into neutral as Radish feeds it across Perry, trying to take it deep, but they will call Tampa offside. Minute 52 to go in the first. Shots are 13-9 Carolina. Looking at the time right now, we only have one other game, or every other game basically should be in intermission. So we'll have to see what we're going to jump in and watch. But nice. Once we get through this one, like I said, we'll cover up or we'll catch up on what's happening around the league, see if there's a game worth watching. If not, Columbus and Philly. They're on a power play now. I'm a little behind. Nowhere for sure. I as soon as you said that, I went and checked and saw that they were on the power play. So I wanted to make sure. Yeah, against LA, the Devils should do fine, dude. LA is not playing great. Puck down the low boards. Tampa into the Carolina zone. Hagel trying to make a move through the center. Carrier being a dog. Mosier picks up the loose puck. Shot from the top of the low circle. Stopped by Anderson. Kept in by Tampa. Hedman trying to dump it back around to the low boards. Carrier kicks it out, but Hagel collects. Gensel across to Hedman. Down behind the net. There's a battle for it, and Carolina is going to pick it up. But immediately sent right back down by Tampa. Chatfield behind Anderson. Gets it, but flubs the pass finally from the high point. Carolina clears. Mosier back up ahead. Dumped in by Tampa. Blake back behind his goalie with 35 seconds left. And here comes the breakout from Carolina. Mishandled on the Tampa blue line. Aho lets it go. He's just not. Again, receiver taking his eyes off the ball. Great pass crossed by Snechnikov, but a better stick by Kucherov. Dump back into the Tampa zone. 15 seconds to go in the period. Carolina trying to get the puck out front. They cannot. And Tampa sends it all the way down into the high corner of the Carolina zone. A good little pop right there by Goncalves and another one by Bjorkstrand. And I am surprised we have gotten through the first period of Tampa, Carolina. The fight between Jarvis and Gergensons, which was 100% on Jarvis because the Gergensons hit was clean. So this has not been the Tampa that I was expecting. Devils having garbage at home, so this is nice. Right on. Yeah, let's take a look at some scores, and then Leaf Sabres. Tell you what, since you're at intermission, we'll go Leaf Sabres while we talk through intermission. There it is. I don't like watching the Leafs, but I really enjoy Buffalo lately, so. All right, and we've got, I believe, a fight. And they are still chopping it up. All right. So far on this hockey heavy Saturday, the Rangers over the Wild 4-1, in second intermission in Minnesota. The Wild finishing up a long penalty. Let's see what happened there real quick. 4-minute minor for a high stick. Double minor against Ryan Hartman. So the Wild come back with 2:05 on the power play. In Minnesota. In Buffalo, 1:35 on the Toronto power play. Leafs and the Sabres are tied 1-1. In Montreal, the Sharks and the Canadiens tied 1 apiece, 6 1/4 to go in the first. First intermission in our game, the Hurricanes are up 2-0. Devils up 2-0. Goals from Cody Glass. That's our boy. Cody Glass is the reason my dad stopped buying jerseys of the players he liked, because Cody Glass got hurt as soon as he got his jersey. But yeah, and Cody Glass and Hischer scoring 30 seconds to go on a power play for the Devils in New Jersey when they get back from first intermission against the Kings. Islanders up 2-0 over Calgary. 52 seconds to go in the first. Calgary with 38 seconds to go on the power play. Blue Jackets over the Flyers 1-0. 13:35 to go in the first. Still to come at 5 o'clock. The Red Wings and the Stars. Looking forward to checking out that one. May even end up switching over to that game depending on if Tampa Bay decides to show up for the second. I chose this game because I expected a very fast, very physical game, and Tampa has disappointed. I don't know, like they had to be warned by the league because they don't look like Tampa has. Red Wings and Stars keeping an eye on that one. Penguins and Mammoths still to come. The Kraken and the Canucks are at 7. Can't believe the Wild are losing, especially 4-1 to the Rangers. Like, holy shit, dude. That's a surprise and a half. Done from earlier today. The Ducks lost to the Senators in Ottawa. You love to see it. The Bruins beating the Capitals in a 9-round shootout. The low post for Swayman, dude. That right post for Swayman did 40% of the work in the shootout. It was fantastic. And then another big surprise, probably as big of a surprise, if not bigger, than the Rangers beating the Wild 4-1. The Avalanche lost to Winnipeg 3-1. I said yesterday, we're not going to worry about Carolina-Winnipeg Colorado-Winnipeg because why would we? Colorado should curb stomp Winnipeg. Nope. So, big surprise there. Really fun game with the Bruins and the Capitals. I wish I would have jumped on for that, but man, really fun game there. Ducks are frozen at 74 points, so that's good news for us as they lose to Ottawa. 75 points. We have 74. So, against Chicago, never a guarantee, but we have a chance to take over first place again now that Anaheim lost today. Ooh. Woll almost got by a loot. He made a good save, but gave up the rebound. Puck off a skate almost went back right through the 5-hole. It's funny. A lot of the goaltending issues lately, they've been talking about, good goaltenders, bad goaltenders, this, that, or the other. Most of what the bad goaltenders have done or are doing and why they're not great goaltenders is simply the rebound direction. Too many rebounds ending up 3 feet in front of them, straight back out the center. It's none of the goalies are okay. Stop the puck, but even on long shots from the point, they're kind of just fighting it off rather than think like ping pong player trying to aim at a certain area on the table with spin to kick. They're trying to kick it in a direction to make it harder for the return. Lately, a lot of the better goalies even have just been giving up really soft rebounds right in front, dropping pucks right in front. Rebounds right or back out between the dots, just real big danger moments. Ooh, Domi came in and made a good play real quick. Buffalo circles back with 35 seconds to go in the first. Shots are 9 apiece and they are tied up at 1. Toronto gets it back. Benoit. I was like, man, I can't think of the dude's name. Buffalo works all the way back down, and we have an icing 15.9 to go in the first. This one, we'll watch the last second. We'll watch the last face-off here, see if anything happens, and then we're going to jump into the Sharks and the Canadians. get a couple minutes to check out how those guys are looking, and then finish off with Blue Jackets and the Flyers before we come back for second period in this one. Buffalo up through neutral, stopped at the red line, eventually sent back down to Wool. Ooh, a complete misplay. Riley just bailed out his goaltender in the dying seconds of the first period. That was close. Where are you fuckers at? No, that's not the one. Sharks and somebody, right? Sharks and there it is. Okay. Good grief. See how San Jose is doing. Down 1-0 with 11. Wait, that's not right. Tied 1-1 with 3 minutes to go. Seems the feed does not want to work there, so let's check out Columbus and Philly. All right, Columbus working up through neutral and into the Philly zone, right up the gut. Not a single Flyer player collapsed towards the center to shut off that shot opportunity. And then the hard rebound off the boards gave a second chance, and none of the Flyers even moved. Low dot, quick shot, good save. Dude, nobody for Philly wants to touch the puck. I mean, I've been here for all of 10 seconds, and we've literally watched the Flyers all kind of look at each other like, no, you do it. Luckily, we only have a few minutes till Detroit. See, Detroit and Dallas needed to be the 4:30 game. Puck up the low boards for Philly to the high point. Dumping it down low and all the way around to the low boards. Philly's got to get something to the net. They're going to get forced the other way. There it is. Hits the post, comes straight down and out, and the follow-up goes wide. And Greaves able to freeze the puck up close to the net. It's Dvorak trying to, everybody's signaling goals, so everybody's high-fiving and stuff, so I'm thinking they're reviewing it, and they're going to call it a goal. On which one? You got to be more specific, to be honest, brother. Tampa's so trash. I agree with you. I'm surprised at how soft Tampa looks right now. Oh, yeah, that's a good goal. Side note, Philly just tied it up 1-1. That was absolutely a good goal. Looks like it went off the post, off the center post in the back of the net, and then back out. Yep. 1-1 Philly. Tampa comeback. Hey, man, there's a reason hockey games are played for 60 minutes. That's kind of all I can say. I would expect Tampa to come out looking like the pieces of shit that they truly are. Tampa lately has done what they did against Florida in the preseason. We don't care about hockey. We're going to beat the ever-loving shit out of you. We're getting close enough to the playoffs where we're going to intimidate you. We're going to fuck you up because we want you to be scared in the playoffs. That's Tampa's goal. You can tell that because against Detroit, once they stopped focusing on just beating the shit out of people and they started playing hockey, they scored 4 goals, right? So Tampa can absolutely come back. However, they're going to have to play like the pieces of shit they are so that they can, because they haven't hit Carolina for nothing. Gergensen's had a good hit on Aho, which Jarvis fought him over, which was a stupid fight for Jarvis to pick. I mean, mainly, well, one reason because Gergensen's bigger than him, but a second reason is because it was a clean hit. That's not worth Jarvis being off the ice for that long. However, Tampa can't stop shooting themselves in the foot and giving Carolina man advantage, right? So Tampa's going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to hit the shit out of people and like in a very, very, very attack them kind of way. And they're going to have to not get called for penalties for it. So that's a tough road to hoe for Tampa to do. However, if Tampa can stay out of the box and somehow manage to figure out how to hit people clean, yes, Tampa comeback. But again, with all of that, at this current time, I haven't seen it out of Tampa, so I'm leaning on Carolina. As long as Carolina doesn't get caught up in the bullshit and they keep playing hockey the way they're playing, they're gonna win fucking 4-2, 5-2. But again, Tampa gets under your skin. They're gonna piss you off. They're gonna hurt you. They're gonna, So if the Lightning got the warning, if Coop got the warning after the Detroit game, like, hey, stop it. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Then Tampa's in trouble for a couple games till they find the balance. But if Tampa comes out and just start, think the movie The Replacements, the last game when they come back and it's, all right, gang, kick ass on 3, break. And then they go and literally just power bomb and beat the ever-loving shit out of the other team. That's what Tampa needs to do right now. Again, not sure if it's going to happen. Not sure what conversations were had, but that's the only way I see Tampa coming back right now. That's like Minnesota is going to lose to the fucking Rangers. What? We're going to check that game out in just a second here. We still got, we only got 2 minutes left on the power play. Let's go Rangers. Hey, Sebastian, buddy. They are I am amazed. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch New York and Minnesota. I cannot believe they're winning 4-1. Minnesota is who I expect to give shit to Colorado in a month here coming up. However, Colorado lost to Winnipeg today 3-1, and the Minnesota Wild are losing to the fucking Rangers 4-1. That is nuts, dude. That is yeah. Just it's not, that game's gonna be a pain in the ass. Okay. We're getting ready to come back, but I do want to check in at least for a moment on the Minnesota power play. Because they got half of a 4-minute double coming. What's up? Minnesota trying to go up the middle, pass to the top, dot, swing, and a glove save by the Rangers goaltender, who I am not sure who's in net for you guys right now. That would be Shesterkin. No shit. Hey, shout out Shesterkin. Face off to his left. 1:42 left on the Minnesota power play. Won by the Wild. As a Devil left the Rangers. Attaboy, Wink. I will say I wasn't a fan of the Rangers, and then they got rid of Trouba and Miller and somebody else, and then it was like, oh, okay, I can watch you guys now. Like, they got rid of a couple guys where I was like, okay, fine, I can accept it. But I absolutely understand you saying that as a Devils fan. I'm pretty sure it's just mandatory for everyone in New Jersey to say fuck New York and everyone in New York to say fuck New Jersey, right? Isn't that like written in the stones of the ancient times? I thought that's how it worked. Dude, Minnesota getting stuffed on the power plays. They're leaving guys out for a minute and a half, just trying desperately to get something through the pipes. Minnesota again in the Ranger zone. Pass to the low point, work down the low wall. Hughes feeds it out front and a whiff on the shot. Minnesota struggle. All right, let's get back to our game, shall we? And again, depending on what happens through like the next half of this period, if Tampa doesn't decide to show up and start playing hockey, then we're going to the Red Wings Stars game. I need to crack my back. Oh. Ow. That hurt like a motherfucker. Oh, from Iowa, so also root for the Wild. Okay, right on. I said the Wild the Wild should be the toughest competition for the Avalanche because, like, my dad and I have talked about it a bunch. In the West, like, splitting conferences, I think we're looking like Tampa, Colorado. Wild have little bit of a takedown, no call. Gergensen's goes wide as he sweeps in front of the crease, pass to the high corner, and Carolina gets it out. Miller trying to buy time at the high point. He dumps it all the way around. Vasilevsky sets it for his D-man. Oh, Holmberg picked his head up just in time to see Svechnikov coming in. If Svechnikov was anybody else, that would have been, if it was the other way around, Gerson would have smashed him. Grandma has the same chair. Dude, I'm telling you, forget computer chairs. All right, at least for me. I just weighed myself yesterday. All right, I'm 6'3", 247. I maintained like 250 to 260. I am a big boy. Most computer chairs have a max rating of 180 pounds. My left nut ain't 180 pounds. Like, dude, big boy. So I'd have a computer. I'd spend 150, 200 bucks on a chair, and it would be broken in a year. So finally, mom had the Goodwill chair. She got it for like $5. I'm like, you know what? That's my computer chair now. And boy, I can plop in it. I can drop in it. I can crack my back on it. This bitch ain't going. The sturdiest son of a bitch I've ever had. So for all you big boys out there, get yourself a Goodwill grandma chair. That's the way to go, dude. There's a lot of shit breaks because I'm a big boy. Like lawn chairs and shit. Like, dude, the chair I sit to smoke in has a big old crack in it because it's plastic. Get yourself a grandma chair. That Rangers, no, Rangers are done. All right, shots are 13-11. Ooh, excuse me. Shit. Shots are 13-11. Carolina, 2 minutes in to the second period. I know I'm sorry, I get excited about my chair. 2 minutes into the period, I haven't made a lot of calls. However, Tampa has started coming a lot more aggressive. Taking it down the high boards off the face-off in the Carolina zone. Tampa ends up losing it right in the middle. Mosier, the midder. M-I-D-D-E-R. Mid. Or I just realized how I butchered middle. And I want to be very clear of what I said. Why can't I remember who 51 is? Man. Gotta get my cheat sheet back out. I'm forgetting names. Doustus. I always forget that. Always forget that, dude. All right. Puck behind Anderson, Carolina there first. Stankoven sets it for Chatfield. And all the way down. No icing. Stall there first ahead of Mosier. Radish comes away with it up the low boards and gets it to Bjorkstrand. All the way across the ice. Mosier up ahead into neutral. Here comes Bjorkstrand. Steals it away. Point takes it off the high boards. Tampa getting some fresh legs all the way across the ice. Radish can't control the puck. Quick turn and shoot goes wide. Out to the low dot across the ice, and Point misses the connection. Hall now. Can't control it. Point takes it. Goncalves passes up ahead, and the shot is stopped. I think that was Kucherov not able to sneak it in from a hard angle. That another shot from Kucherov from the blue line, stopped by Anderson. Radish at neutral, passes it to the low boards. Goncalves gets it in. Back the other way. Edmund trying to reset it, but Blake picks it off. And now Gord tosses it up ahead. Excuse me, I'm back behind the net. Gergensen sets it to the high point, back down low. Battle for it, and it's kept in, sent behind Anderson. Up towards the low point. Svechnikov is able to get it out through neutral. That's Svechnikov? Yeah, that is. Miller whiffs on the little tap, but just enough to set up his teammate. Trying to go up the low board. Stretch pass across neutral. Doesn't connect. Miller groups it up. Now we have Holmberg and Aho going at it. It's enough to blow the play dead for some reason. Are they going to give them both penalties or... Yeah, they're going to give roughing penalties. Dude, the refs had to get notice. And the Tampa Bay Lightning had to get notice because the Lightning are getting called on fucking everything. That's just... Holmberg 100% initiated that, but it is what it is. Yeah, see right there. I was talking earlier about the rebounds. Anderson needs to stop giving... If he's going to hit it with the glove, catch it. Because he gave up a risky rebound straight up the gut again inside the dots. So, Holmberg and Aho to the box, both roughing. They just kind of went at each other. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I was talking about Tampa needs to get aggressive and physical without getting called for penalties. Chasing after a dude ain't really going to do that for you. Holmberg went after Aho, and Aho responded. So, again, if they're going to playing like this, but getting penalties isn't going to work. And again, like I said, I think the league's tired of Tampa just like most people are. That's why I'm saying the league had to talk to the refs and to Tampa. Like, they had to give Tampa a warning, and they had to tell the refs to fucking keep the game tight. Because the game against Detroit, the refs were as responsible as both teams, as for Tampa. I think the Detroit game is the one I'm thinking of. That where Tampa would they acted like the first game against, or the preseason game against Florida. So Tampa had to get warned, the refs had to get warned, and now they're calling everything. So I agree with you. That wasn't penalty worthy, but Devils gave up a power play goal. Rough. They just got back to the second period too. Or they just got back, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, you guys actually been playing for a while. Shot from the low dot goes wide. Carolina Miller back to the red line, passes it up ahead, hits Ehlers, shoots, and it's fought off by the blocker of Vasilevsky. Carolina keeps it in. 20 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Blake shoots, and it's caught by the glove of Vasilevsky. $13:46 to go in the second. Since we're going to commercial, Rangers or Wild cut the deficit to 2, 4-2 Rangers, and the Rangers have scored 4 goals on 17 shots. Wild scored twice on 36. Maple Leafs up 2-1 over the Sabres to start the second. Oh, this isn't caught up yet. Hang on. All right. Devils still up, but only by 1 over the Kings after the power play goal by Kopitar. Islanders up 3-0 over the Flames. Blue Jackets and the Flyers tied 1-1, and we are going to check out. If this becomes a 3-0 game, we may switch it up to go Dallas, Detroit. I don't think I have a BRB for Dallas, Detroit, but damn, we're 4. They went 4-on-4 almost instantly. David Perron, 2-minute minor for slashing. And from slashing Heiskanen, and Heiskanen gets a roughing for Perron. So they went at each other after the whistle, I'm assuming. Or maybe just before the whistle. So 35 seconds gone on the 4-on-4. Detroit not able to get it into the Dallas zone. Harley into neutral. I just realized I have volumes on both games, so let's... Damn it. Hang on. Damn it. All right. So, like I said, if this game ends up being 3-0 Carolina, we will probably switch to Detroit, Dallas, but we shall see. 4-on-4 for another 15 seconds. Carolina can't get it out of their own zone as Gord is just putting on heavy pressure. Very heavy pressure. Trying to get it into the corner. Gergensons gets it to Mosier, tries to find Gord across the ice, but can't connect. Carolina back in as we are full strength hockey. Low corner, fed up to the low point. Chatfield throws it on net, kicked away by the right pad of Vasilevsky. Hall gets up, kicks it ahead, and Tampa gets there first. Gord in the high corner, trying to get the puck free, but he can't. Carolina recovers. And now Aho takes another little late shove. Tie game. When the Dallas starts slipping, we just fall. When the Devils start slipping, we fall apart. Yeah, that's something that Vegas has a tendency of doing. Is if you score on us once, you're gonna score on us again fairly quickly. Especially if we have a lead, like this. You know, you're up 2-0, and within 6 minutes of gameplay, it's 2-2. Vegas has a real hard time with that, but it's okay as long as you guys can maintain. If you guys can maintain a tie going into the third, you should be fine because the Kings suck in the third. Keeping an eye, they are full strength again in Dallas. Meanwhile, Tampa battling for control in the Carolina zone, and they lose it. Through neutral, it is tipped in. Point trying to chase it down, and he got there. He's not able to find the puck. Hall makes the pass ahead to Svechnikov, but Svechnikov brings it right into his own zone. Dumped in and around past Hall, swept up by Carrier. Goncalves putting the pressure on him as Radish joins into the high corner, back below the net. Possible from behind. Hall got a little bit of space behind the net, but couldn't get it out front. Ehlers takes a shove from Goncalves, but Martinook is able to get it in for Carolina behind the net. Takes a shove and Mosier gets to Goncalves, and Tampa is right back the other way. Point with Kucherov. Kucherov gets tied up as he reaches to tap it. And we are going to a Tampa power play. Walker does not like the call there, but I thought it looked like a penalty. We'll have to see it again on the slow play. Let's see. Is that what the... Oh, no, that's absolutely a hook. I don't know what he's bitching about. That is 100% a hook. I'm sorry, he grazed the hands of Kucherov. He smacked him. He went from under the stick and smacked him in the hands. That's a hook. Like, we must have the Carolina feed because that was an obvious penalty to me. Kucherov had Walker beat. Walker knew it, so he committed a penalty. Fuck up the low boards. Big hit down low by Hagel on Chatfield. What's the penalty? What is the penalty? I must have been blocked by the boards. Like, the legs must have been blocked by the boards. They went knee to knee and it was a tripping. It had to be. It had to be. Because what I just saw was not a penalty. No. Okay, the commentator said, see, in my opinion, you either have to call both or you have to call neither. No. The first penalty was a hook, 100%. When you reach across a guy's body and you come up with the blade of your stick on his hand and prevent him, you hit his hand, not the stick, his hand, and prevent him from making a play on the puck, that is a hook. That was a good penalty. However, that was not a penalty. Chatfield made a hard cut to try and play the puck, and he fell over. In no way was that a penalty. And for the commentator to say, well, I mean, if you're going to call one, you got to call both. No. What a dumb shit fucking way of thinking. Like, what? One was questionable and one was not. So you either call them both or you call neither. No. You call the one that's a penalty and you don't call the one that's not a penalty. What fucking... Okay. But yeah, that was an embarrassment of a call from these officials. 45 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. 9:35 left in the period. Gensel leaves the puck back to Mosier in the Carolina zone. Back behind the net, fed out front. And broken up by Carolina. Dallas Detroit is getting off to a great start. Both teams won it. I absolutely wink. I am absolutely keeping an eye on that and actually highly considering making the switch. However, I'm too bought into how shitty this game is, to be honest. But no, Dallas and Detroit look great right now. Very, very fast on both sides. Like I said, that's one thing that's made this a little tough. This game a little tough is Tampa looks slow. They look soft and they look slow. Now, granted, when they don't do anything, they end up getting called for a penalty. So I understand why they look soft. You vote switch, okay. What we'll probably see what happens in the next. Let's see. Tell you what, we'll decide at the end of the period because we got 8:20 here. I do have the other game up, but we'll. I think I'm with you. I think I want to switch over. Dallas scored. Wyatt Johnston just had enough space to walk right up on Gibson from the low baseline and have two opportunities, and he buried it. Who the hell lets Wyatt Johnston just walk up to the front of the net like that? Hang on one sec. Raymond goes down to Casper. Pass broken up back towards the middle, and the shot goes wide. So now Dallas goes the other way. Very weak by Detroit. Oh, that's why. Detroit just got shamed by Johnston. I don't know who that was for the Red Wings, but Wyatt Johnston is just a beast. I said, well, we're thinking about it, Wink, but I'm expecting Tampa to start pulling some bullshit any minute now, and that's more what I'm interested in. And Devils are losing. Damn, dude, it's the Kings, bro. Come on. Yeah, Taylor Hall said hello to Kucherov, but neither of them even fucking moved. Hall got the worst of it. Oh, that's the delayed offsides. And 10:15 to go in the first. Shots are 3-0 Dallas. Halfway through the first period. No, Wyatt Johnson. Is that Raymond? That is Raymond. It's man on man. Raymond against Wyatt Johnston. And in the low corner, Johnston just makes a hard cut back to the net. And Raymond was not ready for it. His help was too far away, and that was just a good goal. Dude, I hate Dallas with a passion, but damn, Wyatt Johnston is a beast. And I got a lot of respect for him and for Robertson. Everybody else is a good player, but a little shit, as far as I'm concerned. Into the low corner of the Detroit zone. Puck back to the high point. Captain. Dallas works it back to the low point, and it has forced to be taken out. Lindell just could not keep it in. It's a delayed penalty on Detroit as Robertson walks in. Shot off the low dot, stopped by Gibson, and it is touched. Let's see what the penalty was. Oh, it was a straight up slash. No, okay. I thought an opportunity presented itself. No, dude got slashed like a motherfucker at the high point. Yeah, mom's trip. The dad's trip for Vegas is always a fun time because for some reason we just go off when we're on the dad's trip. 7 minutes to go in the second as the Red Wings send it all the way down in front of Vasilevsky. Trying to work it back up the boards. A little bit of a high hit there from Perry, but it stays in. Carolina from the high point. Miller shoots, hits bodies. Back to the blue line. Walker shoots, and it hits the glove of Vasilevsky, who freezes it. Where's my get? Hang on. Need my cheat sheet. That's not it. That's not it. Hurricanes and the Lightning. Perry and Paul. I keep switching those two. Anyway. Yeah, Kings up. So let's see. Kopitar, Panarin, and Ward. Couldn't do this shit against Edmonton, but here we are against New Jersey. Gord passes it to nobody. Carolina in their own zone. 6.5 left in the second. Worked up the low boards and Jarvis walks in. Pass all the way across the ice. Quick shot. Misses wide. Gord on the low boards. Takes it. Sends it back down into the low corner where it's collected and sent all the way back into Carolina territory. Anderson plays it up the high boards, kept in by Tampa and immediately taken out by Svechnikov. Jarvis now leaving it to Svechnikov. Top of the low circle. I expected a shot, but he shoots now off the delay. Stopped by Vasilevsky. And you have a foot race. Gord shoots and he scores. And this is why we decided to hang out, because I had a feeling this game's going to get a little more interesting the longer it goes. Just beats Anderson on the stick side as Gord, just tucks it under the right side of the stick arm. Hang on a second. Dallas is on a power play. 8:30 to go in the first. 65 seconds to go on the man advantage. Johnston across the blue line through neutral. Leaves it to the low point. Robertson looking. Top of the low circle goes across to the high dot. Fed to the high baseline. And out to the point. Back to the wall. Across. Robertson shoots and it's gloved by Gibson. Back in Tampa, Mosier backed up to his own dots, goes across the ice, and Tampa sends it up ahead. It's tipped. No icing. Kucherov ahead. However, Anderson able to play it up the boards. Kept by Tampa. Kucherov in the high corner. Leaves it below the net, and Carolina will leave the zone. Swing and a miss on a whiffed leave pass or drop pass. Carrier into the low corner against Goncalves. Gets it to Chatfield. And over to Slavin behind the net. All the way up ahead. It's tipped in. Robertson into the high corner. Ooh, a little bit of... a whiff stick. Tampa has numbers. 2-on-1 going the opposite way as Goncalves gets a little pick play. And Tampa scores. 2-2. Where the fuck is the score? There it is. Oh, whoops. Whoever the third man was did just enough to interfere with Miller, and it was potentially interference. It was a bit of a pick play, but it was a good job of no, this is my ice. I'm skating this way too. I have the right to the ice type of deal. So it wasn't, but it was. Like, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody listening, but it was a smart interference that wasn't interference. Back to full strength in Dallas, but Tampa obviously heard me talking shit because we were about to turn this one off. Next thing you know, it's a tie game. 4:10 left in the second. Shots are 23-17. Good job staying on side. Walker shoots, hits a skate, pops it right up in the air, goes right into Walker's gear. One of the, is that McDonough? Just got jacked from behind on a cross check. And by Mike Short, hey, that's why I was mentioning it to dude that popped in earlier. Like, hockey games are 60 minutes for a reason. Tampa needed to come out looking to hit and looking to cause problems, and they haven't done a good job, but they did a lot better than they did in the first. Like, at this point, if I was Cooper, once the call that got made for tripping Chatfield, which was a bullshit call that caused the 4-on-4, Once that happened, if I'm Cooper, I'm telling the guys, fuck it. Do whatever you want to do. You're going to get called for a penalty when you don't commit a penalty. Then if you're going to go to the box, go for a reason. And so we'll see. I mean, they have definitely stepped up the aggression. All right. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Detroit leaving the Dallas zone on the low side. Little hit right at neutral, but got his head up just in time to take it in the chest. Dallas headed back the other way. And it's, dude, this is the physicality I expected more out of Tampa, Carolina, which is the reason I wanted to watch that game. But this one is way better. Detroit tips it in all the way down to the Otter. He gets it up the high boards. Wyatt Johnston, patient, makes a perfect pass to Lindell. With numbers, the puck jumps off the stick of Dallas, and now Detroit is able to head in back behind Ottinger. And Riemsdyk there first, feeds it out front, nobody home. Stars go the other way. Robertson with speed, trying to make the pass across. He does, and Wyatt Johnston misses the follow-up. Is that Heineman? Is that number 4 for Dallas? I know we just saw him. Hang on. Heiskanen. Oh, Heiskanen's there. Wait. Was it Heiskanen that was there? Did Heiskanen play last time? Anyway, single shot with just over 4 minutes to go. Yeah, that was the next step, or the next point. Shots are 9-0 Dallas. 3:45 left in the first. It has been all Stars. Into the low corner, Red Wings go back behind the net, misses everybody. Picked up on the high wall, high point across the blue line. Ball goes back across the blue line, puck to the net. They might finally have a shot on, but that, I don't know if that hit the outside of the net or if that hit Ottinger. Back in back in Tampa. Carolina making their way in, but stopped high at the blue line. Tampa being a lot more aggressive at the blue line in the second half of this period. Detroit did finally get a shot on net. Kane puts one wide. I think he might have hit his teammate in the face. Another shot from the high point. Gets loose behind the net. Fed out front. Stopped Ottinger. Kane up close. Not able to get it past the Dallas goaltender. Detroit keeping it in the zone. Live on the low wall. Kane makes the pass across the ice down into the high corner. Harley puts on good pressure, and now Dallas has a one-on-one. And they waste it. And Tampa Lightning put one on net from the low point. A bouncing puck goes wide. Gord bitching about something, but what's new? Hagel now in the low corner trying to swing it around the net. Gord picks it up and finally does. Across the blue line to the high dot. Tampa still controlling, and then an errant pass finds its way to Chatfield, trying to stretch back the other way, and now Tampa gets called for an offsides as they pick it off in neutral. Back up to Dallas, Detroit. I cannot stop fucking yawning, man. Good Lord. Dallas goes into the Red Wings zone. You got 65 seconds left on the clock. Through neutral with a chance from the top of the high circle, fought off by Ottinger into the high corner of the Dallas zone. Interference a little bit there, but I don't expect a call. Puck back behind Ottinger. Up the low boards. And out in the neutral. Back to Tampa with 80 seconds to go in the period. Ooh, you know what? Let's hang out in Detroit, or let's hang out in Dallas for a second. Detroit puts one on net, saved by the pads of Ottinger into the high corner. Kane down low, trying to put the pressure on, and the Red Wings temporarily come away with it. I'm surprised not to see a holding penalty there on Dallas. No, I'm not. It's Dallas. What am I talking about? 10 seconds left on the clock in that one. Detroit, actually got a little aggressive, trying to lead up through the middle in the last moments of that period. Back down to Tampa, 40 seconds on the clock. Mosier can't get it towards the net. Point now, loses it. Blake all the way across the ice. A diving play by Goncalves breaks up that attempt. And then a shot goes wide, glove side. Still stuck on Goncalves. It looked like he tried to cheat the breakout, and it almost cost him, but he made a good recovery. 12 seconds left as Hagel storms in. He's looking for a place to go with the puck. He sends it around to the high boards. 5 seconds, and it pops all the way back to the high dot of the Tampa zone, and that will wrap us up for the second period in Tampa. Oh boy, fellas, we are getting active. But since that puts us on all the games I want to watch on intermission, let's see if there's anything. I guess we can catch up. The second period all tied up. That one's 3-0. All right. So we're going to take our first break since we are going to be here for the next foreseeable fucking many hours, because we're going to ride. So we're going to ride Tampa, Carolina right into the ending of Detroit, Dallas, which would take us right into the start of Vegas, Chicago. So I'm going to work in a break or two amongst those moments. Which means eventually finding something to eat, even though I did have some chicken. All right, guys, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Let's hit it. And we'll see you when we get back from intermission. Well, didn't realize the music wasn't gonna last all that long. Fucking whoops. How we doing on the poll? Got a tie, 29% for Hurricanes by one, Lightning by one, and Lightning by two or more, including an empty net. And we are sitting here tied. As we wait to come back from intermission, let's check in on Dallas and Detroit. We are still waiting. Like I said, I keep threatening to do it. It's wait, HBO, right? I think Night of the Seven Kingdoms was HBO, right? Yes. So I've been threatening to start something I've been wanting to do for a while. And I've been thinking about doing it during intermissions. And it basically requires just hanging out and watching shows. So we'll see if I actually end up doing it. I may even save that for playoffs. I think they do. I think they go from 18 to 20 minutes on playoffs for intermission, but I can't remember. But that way, do a little wrap up, catch like half an episode. Because if I remember right, those are much shorter episodes. Or maybe not much shorter, but like half-hour episodes. So like catch the first half, watch the second period, catch the second half. Put that towards, like I said, what I wanted, because we're gonna have to find something to do when hockey season's over. So I'm thinking maybe get a jump on that and just hang out and watch shows and movies and shit. All right, now that I don't have to kill time anymore, we can go back to hockey. Jesus. I don't understand how anybody listens to me. I hate listening to me. Word wink, welcome back in. We have puck drop in Dallas. Heiskanen trying to work it up, and eventually Johnson gets through trying to pass it up ahead, and he can't get through the Detroit sticks. Pass across the crease, catches Gibson's paddle. Knocked out front, Dallas maintains. Good little move. That's got to be a hooking call, and it is. So that had to be a hooking call. Dude, yesterday they had two games I didn't really care about. The day before they had three I wanted to watch at the same time. Today it's the same deal. All right, so the Dallas goes to a power play as we come back in Tampa. We'll keep an eye on that one. Lightning win the faceoff, immediate turnover through neutral, back the other way. Radish has it knocked away. Into the low corner of the Tampa zone, over to Mosier behind the net, up and all the way down. No icing. Anderson plays it up the low boards, picked up by Bjorkstrand. Goes back up to the high wall behind the net. Tampa keeps it in on the high boards. And now Carolina skating out with it under pressure, getting it up and not tipped in. Icing, face off, heading all the way back. Devils tie it up right away at the beginning of three. Nice, dude. Good to hear that the Devils are playing well, or are coming out hot. Let's say that. I need Detroit to figure it out, which they're not going to in the down one. Down a man. And I would really like Carolina to beat Tampa. Off the face-off, Svechnikov goes for a run all the way down, but he's stopped as he gets in front of the net. Real quick, in Dallas, Robertson feeds it down to the high baseline, tip towards the net by one of the Red Wings. Gibson covers it up and freezes it. Hall Stall back down behind Vasilevsky. Puck comes up, and Tampa is out of the zone, cut off by Walker. Ooh, that looked like it was going to be a hit for a moment. Back into the zone, puck left behind, shot. Nobody can find the puck. It goes off the back glass towards Vasilevsky. Off the stick of Ehlers. Back down below behind the net. That Martin can't. What's that? Puck ends up coming all the way back down into the Carolina zone. I've got to stop hitting the wrong button so that I can have my cheat sheet up. Hall breaks in, goes right in front of Vasilevsky, but he can't elevate the puck. Andre Vasilevsky. Keep it just stretched out on his belly, keeping solid on the right pad. Back in goes Carolina. And here comes Point working all the way back out through neutral. Oh, with 6 seconds left on the power play, Bunting scores for Dallas. Take a look down there, or back up at that one in a moment here. Lightning make it all the way back through. Smart man on the bench avoided the too many men penalty. Top of the high circle for Dallas. Rebound comes out to the middle. Let's see. Oh, it was a pass across that got stopped, and Bunting was just sitting there in the perfect position. Ooh, puck in the crease on Vasilevsky. He has not frozen it, but he doesn't have a stick. He's able to get it fairly quickly as Tampa Bay recovers. Puck back into neutral, and Tampa are going to maintain. Into the Carolina zone. Robinson loses his skates in the low corner on the low boards. McDonough gets a little help from Bjorkstrand up to the high point. Perry shoots, and it's fought off by Anderson on the low boards, up and out into neutral. Mosher makes his way back to scoop it up across the red line and in. Tampa gets control. Carolina starting to look like the slow skaters. Radish off balance, puts it off the backboards, and it is frozen by Anderson. Ooh. Hall made a great move. He just couldn't elevate it. He was he was handcuffed in, his elbow on his hip, and he couldn't, just didn't have the room to elevate it with the shoulders over the top. All right, with 2.5 minutes gone in the second in Dallas, Detroit is going on a 2-minute power play. Didn't see the penalty. Dallas, obviously, I don't think they've seen a penalty. They've been called for a penalty that they think is a penalty, which I get. I get it. Hang on, this light is bright as shit. I need to turn it down a little bit. Aho coming through neutral, passes it to the high boards, cutting in on the high dot shot, fought off by Vasilevsky. Canes leaving their zone again. Svechnikov for Aho. Svechnikov picks it up after both sort of fumble. Svechnikov goes down. Chernak can't quite find the puck, but eventually does come out. Perry taking it in. Nope, not quite. Chernak collects it, waiting at the red line for Tampa to get back on side, and then he dumps it in deep. Oh, damn it. Slavin collects behind his own net. Real quick, check it in, and Detroit is not doing very well on their power play. Hall gets past the Tampa blue line. Hedman sets it ahead after the pass from Vasilevsky. Tampa getting deep, looking for the pass out front, blocked by Carolina stick. I think that was Chatfield. And the misconnection the other way will be an icing. Hang on. I'm trying to get my. I gotta have my phone hooked up to Bluetooth and location services so that I can turn my light down. I bought it so I can't bitch too much. That is much better. I didn't realize quite how neon I was. Carolina wins the faceoff in their zone. Chatfield sends it all the way up and around. Vasilevsky leaves it off for Radish. Passes it up the low boards, and Kucherov goes back to Radish across the red line and in. All the way around to the high boards, and Cage clear it. Radish again collects. Makes the pass to the red line where Kucherov dumps it deep, and it's going to be too far. Icing. Shots at 27-17 Carolina. 6 minutes gone in the third period. Up in Dallas, 5 minutes gone. Shots are 12-6 for the Stars. Crashing in behind the net. Good defense to force them to the high boards. Dallas controls from the corner. Robertson misses the pass. So now it's going back the other way. Sider racing. Oh, that's Shine racing down. Making contact, but Dallas heads right back in. Fucking hell, dude. And on top of this, Carolina and Detroit are both red and white. I'm going to be surprised if I keep these teams straight in my head. To the low point, Miller. Top of the high circle, shot gloved by Vasilevsky. And it looks like we have an icing on Detroit. So commercial break in Tampa. This game's going to have to hurry up and get over because I got to have time to hop off and get on the other stream. Just under 6 minutes gone in Dallas. 13-6 are the shots in favor of the Stars. Gibson fixing his equipment. And drop. Ooh, to the high point. I thought Dallas would pinch, but they do not. Heiskanen chases it back. Wings get a change. All the way up ahead, stopped at the blue line for Detroit. Little bit of catch under a single man pressure, but turned over at neutral. Dallas is right in. Harley shoots. Misses wide. Puck comes off the backboard. Played by Duchesne all the way around. Back to Duchesne at the point. He tries to cut in the center. Leaves a pass that's cut off. But he takes control back. A whiff of a pass from the high point. Steele saves the day on that one. Right back into the wing zone. Kept in by Dallas off the low point. Steele goes down behind the net. Red Wings able to collect. But man, they are so passive right now. Wings dump and chase. And, oh, I guess puck did go up out of play. They just waited to make the call. Dude, why all of a sudden I feel like shit, man? All right, 13:40 to go in the third. Shots are 28-17. Carolina face off to the left of Vasilevsky. Foot race into the corner. Ehlers gets there first, gets it to stall, but Tampa takes over. Tossed ahead for Bjorkstrand to chase, but Carolina cuts it off. Ehlers into the zone. Shoots and goes high. Coming back the other way, Bjorkstrand chucks it in. And Anderson will glove it and hang on to it. Who am I thinking of right now? Seven McDonald, 51, yeah. 71 is Sorrell. Yeah, anyway. Let's go again from the left of Anderson. Scored on the dot against Aho. And Tampa comes away with it. Goncalves in the low corner. Need an Ehlers goal? I don't come. Let's get it. I need Carolina to win just because I hate Tampa. So let's get it. I'm gonna guess you got a couple bucks on it, and I want you to get paid. So let's get you paid. Hit an Ehlers goal for sure, dude. I just realized I forgot to do something. Puck out to the center in Tampa territory. Aho up front, but cannot make the play. Back the other way. Chatfield cuts it off in the middle of the ice. Dumped in, and Mosher will go back and collect behind his own goal, waiting for the change. All the way down to Anderson, who plays it back. Weak pass. Kucherov cuts it off. Played from the blue line down. Daustas hits a skate as he goes to make the pass. Hall loses his stick. Fed around the back of the net, and a good hit on Hagel disrupted him. Miller popped his ass. Hagel right across. Big swing on Kucherov. Save. Another follow-up by Hagel, and Anderson has saved the day so far. What an effort. Stankoven trying to sneak one in on the low dot off of a wild play. And he misses wide. Puck into the low corner of the Tampa zone. Slavin can't fight off Hagel. Another Stankoven shot from the low dot, and that goes up and out of play. What a moment for Anderson. He may go on the dive and save. The dive and save Hall of Fame is crazy. Oh, nope, that hit a post, I think. Did it hit Walker or did it hit a post? Nope. That is Walker, dude. Walker is the hero for the moment for Carolina as he gets a skate on the puck to bail out Anderson, who ended up way out of positions. 11:17 to go in the third. Shots are 28-18. Puck out of play. Let's head back to Dallas. 10:40 to go in the second. Shots are still 13-6. So we've got a few minutes without a shot in this one. And the wing zone goes Dallas, but it's lost immediately. Red Wings through neutral, dumping. Dude, they have an opportunity to control the puck. They have an opportunity to walk the line, but they keep deciding to chase it down, and Dallas is faster than them. So they're dumping chase and lose the puck while we tire everybody out. I don't understand the thought process for the Red Wings. Ehlers makes it through neutral, trying to leave it back to Martinook. He does, who sends it around. Ehlers in the low corner, collects it back to Martinook. He shoots and he scores. Anderson was so out of place, and Walker bailed him out here. Ehlers gets the puck to Martinook, and Martinook just shoves it at the net and nails it. Jordan Martinook with his 9th of the season to give Carolina the lead. Come back in just a second as we check in on Dallas. 9:40 to go in the second. Walk through neutral. Red Wings control it in their territory. All right, we're back. 10:30 to go in the third. Shots are 30-18 for Carolina. And again, I have to assume that Tampa was warned, and the refs were given the heads up to call everything on Tampa, because the Lightning have been on their best behavior this season. Troy looks tired. They do. They look, they are not the better team on the ice right now. They look like they're skating in sand, and Dallas is just kind of having their way. Good pressure by Miller, forces Tampa into the low corner. Puck back to the point. Quick shot from Kucherov outside the low circle. Shut down, and then aggressive sticks take away any opportunity to follow up with a second chance. Sorry, my brain just went like I forgot I was talking in the middle of my sentence. Anyway. Looks like we're going to have a power play, not in Dallas. I'm not sure who for, though. Tampa controls, broken stick from the high point, and Carolina goes back the other way. Unfortunate. I think that was Mosier. I don't know if Mosier just came on the ice or if it's his stick that shattered, but it exploded on that shot. Good little stretch. Hagel with speed right up the middle, actually cuts through everybody. It's kept in by Cirelli across the blue line, top of the high circle. Shot hits a skate. Collected by Goncalves, trying to fling it to Hagel, and it doesn't connect. Back the other way. Carrier's gonna dump it in right to Radish. He's standing behind Vasilevsky. Hall. Sorry, that's Stahl putting on the pressure. Hall and Stahl being 71-11 is annoying. Puck comes all the way down. It's a broken stick, and Anderson goes ahead and just gloves it. Got a couple conversations happening in front of the Carolina net. Okay, Dallas is on a power play. Prepare for that game to go 3-0. Leaders for the third period goals are 90, 86, and 83. Carolina has 86. Golden Knights have 90. Carolina picks it up and will send it ahead from behind their net, playing very, very defensively. They call it a hand pass on Tampa. I obviously missed that. Dude, what a play by Ehlers. Did Marnock hit Hedman? Did it go off Hedman's ass? There is a Hall and a Stahl, yes. And Tanner Hall is number 71, and Jordan Stahl is number 11. And so if they're heading left to right on the screen, close to the boards, or if somebody's on them, it makes all you can really see is that there's two numbers and it's a 1. And so it's like trying to figure out which one of them is which in certain moments is just a pain in the ass. Like, it's one thing if you're a Carolina fan and you watch them a lot and you know the difference in how guys skate, the size, where guys should be expected on the ice, things like that. Like, I know when 9 times out of 10, if Stone's on the ice and I see a 9 on another jar, 2-digit number that's a 9, That's Barbashev, that type of thing. Power play goals for the Devils, eh? Let's see. Leafs and Sabres are tied, 13.5 to go. Tied at 2, 13.5 to go in Buffalo. 17:45 to go in the third. Sharks are up 3-2 over the Canadiens. Devils up on the Kings with 7 minutes to go in the game. Hischer getting his second of the game, and this time a power play goal. The Flames have made it a game against the Islanders. Once down 3-0. They have made it 3-2, 7 minutes to go in New York. 24 seconds to go in the second. Flyers are ending their power play. They are tied up 1-1 against the Blue Jackets. And the Mammoth up to an early lead against the Penguins. 5:06 into the first by Gunther. And then not long after, a minute and 31 seconds later, the same man drops a power play goal for his. Oh shit, we got a 5-on-3. I was too busy looking at the scores. I didn't see the penalty. In not in this game, sorry, but in Detroit and Dallas. Goncalves enters the Carolina zone, stopped by Anderson. Miller sets it on the low boards for Stahl. Back to Miller, up the low wall, all the way down. Martin there first. I was expecting him to turn and shoot it. It worked last time. Svechnikov with the reverse hit. Just dropped Goncalves. Slavin sends it behind the net. Marnook working his way back up the boards. Can't get it to Slavin as it's cut off. That looked like a high stick, I guess. I guess it hit him in the chest and not the face. That's Svechnikov right back in. Shot from the top of the low circle. Stopped by Vasilevsky. Mosier and Cirelli fighting for it up top. Aho comes away with it, and he ends up getting stopped out high. I gotta find out who that was. That was a great defensive play for the Lightning. It was Mr. McDonough, Chatfield, back behind his own net as Carolina tries to work out. Puck's cut off and sent back down to the high corner. Slavin takes a hard hit, and cannot get it clear. Radish cannot crash that. That was out of play, or that was offside. Stankoven. They waved it off, but that would have gotten reversed. Feeds it up close, and Stahl can't quite tip it in on Vasilevsky. Holberg collects. Down to the low boards. Radish can't control it, but he's able to get it into neutral. And it's sent down. Devils give up a power play goal. Good Lord, man. Y'all are on roller coaster ride. Anze Kopitar getting his second for the game. So who's going to end up with the Hattie? I know who your vote's for, but who gets the Hattie, Hischer or Kopitar? Dude, Detroit got out of a power play, then a 5-on-3, then a minute and change power play. Unbelievable. Carolina through neutral, tipped down. McDonough collects, tries to go up the low boards. It's cut off by Ehlers. He takes a little hand to the head. Ehlers reacted a little stronger than I expected that to be, but you're telling me uptown, dude, it's been nuts, man. Martinook shoots from the top of the low circle, goes in the glove of Vasilevsky, but then he drops it, pass all the way up ahead. It goes off the skate of Slavin, collected by Chatfield, and now Slavin trying to get out of his zone. Up to Chatfield on the high boards. I don't know if it got tipped. It did. Radish is back first. Out of the Tampa zone. Up ahead to Riley, who dumps it in. These were tied and not down. Yeah, Little victories. 4:20 to go in the game in Tampa. So hey, once we get follow up for Tampa, they both miss. Wild back behind the net. Perry trying to work it out front. Carolina's able to clear. Yeah, after this one, when we switch over to the Vegas game, we're going to start up a new stream. I can't figure out, or I don't have the ability to just whatever the transfer thing is. I can't think of it right now. So just a heads up, we'll be switching in 3.5 minutes of game time unless Tampa ties it up. Point stops the entry by Tampa. I don't know if they're looking to pull Vasilevsky yet, but they've got to be kind of getting close. 3:18 to go in the game. Carolina back into Tampa territory on the high boards. Ehlers gets it to Martin Hook in the corner. Back behind the net. Stahl gets there first. Up the low boards, past across, but nobody home. From the high wall, a shot hits everybody up front. Martin Hook trying to find it. And Stahl couldn't bury it once he did. Chatfield putting on pressure to keep the puck in the zone, and a loose pass to the low boards. Ends up in a foot race between Cirelli and Stahl that Cirelli didn't quite win. And now Svechnikov sends it to the net, stopped by Vasilevsky. Miller sends it down low. Jarvis puts it behind the net. Feet out front, hits a skate. Bounces back into the high corner. Edmund and Point putting pressure. Finally, the puck comes out behind the net to the low boards. Gensel against Aho. Jarvis ends up coming away with it. Aho back to Jarvis in the corner. Chernak putting on the pressure. Jarvis gets behind the net, chases it up the boards, gets it to the high point. Towards the net, it ends up in the low corner, fought off by Vasilevsky. Tampa finally, Kucherov gets some steam through the middle, but the puck is taken. And Tampa goes the other way, a little loose. Okay, I didn't realize Vasilevsky was still in net. He's looking to go, and I think he finally will. Down low, Cirelli feeds it out front. Great stop, Anderson. And Carolina collects at the blue line, and they score. So what we end up with, the votes were Hurricanes by 1. But Carolina manages to go up 2-0 on the empty net with a minute and change. All right, tell you what, we'll ride out the second period in Dallas, and then we'll end it and go over to the Vegas game. 3 minutes to go as Detroit gets out of the zone all the way up ahead into the high corner of the Dallas zone. Heiskanen lets it go through, fed out front. Nobody quite there, but it is collected by the Red Wings to the high point. Shot. Hits a body out front and ends up on the low boards. Recovered by the Wings again. Quick shot ends up in the glove of Ottinger. Yeah, Stadium Series, February 20th next year, Dallas and Vegas. That should actually be it'd be cool to hook up with couple, like one of the shows I watched, the one of the shows I watched, dude, as a Dallas fan. It'd be sweet to set that up for the outdoor series. Got a year to try and figure it out. Down low in the Tampa zone, Vasilevsky back in net. Carolina at the high point. Ehlers sends it down low to Stahl. Martinook on the low boards. Back to Stahl below the net. Gensel gets to the free puck, passes it to Radish, and Radish, with 65 seconds left on the clock, gets it ahead. Ooh, interesting little bump on the high boards by the box. Didn't see exactly what happened, but I expected a little bit different reaction. Again, I feel like Tampa was let know. They were told, behave. The refs are going to call you on your shit. Then the refs were told, call stuff on them. Because if you look again between Detroit and Carolina, I would have expected the last game now. It's just Tampa is surprisingly neutered tonight. All right, Anderson makes another save. 15.7 seconds to go. Shots at 35-19. Carolina, empty net for Tampa. This one will be over momentarily. A minute 40 to go in Dallas. Stars up 2-0. Shots are 16-7 in favor of the Stars. And Red Wings just got called for an icing. Dude's over here shaking his head. I'm very curious as to why. He looks pissed. They're about to win by 2, and he's over there shaking his head. A couple quick shots off the face-off by Dallas, and Detroit goes back the other way. Another Devil's power. Damn, dude. Y'all going for another empty net for Carolina now. Tampa comes back. A little bit of speed, but the whistle blows. The horn blows. And Carolina will take it. 4-2-2. Wait, did that go in? Red Wings' best opportunity of the night comes off a shot from Sherratt. Tipped in front by Comfort. Beats Ottinger, hits the post, and rides the goal line. Damn. Dallas sends the face off to the low boards and will chase it back into their zone. 60 seconds on the clock. Shots are 16-7 Dallas. Into Stars territory. Set up the low boards, kept in by the Red Wings. Edmondson tries to center it. Puck stop, goes way up in the air, but over the net. Battle on the low boards. 40 seconds left in the period. Contact in the low corners. Both sides fight. Dallas comes away with it. Spins up, and they will buy some space. 30 seconds left. Into neutral. Red Wings all of a sudden want to play hockey late in the second period. Shot. Hits a body, gets recovered by Edmondson, and limps its way to the net where Ottinger freezes it. And then you've got Bischel and who's it, Casper going at each other down behind the Dallas net after Ottinger froze it. All right, let's see. Kings with the empty net, Flames with the empty net. Tell you what, I don't see anything happening in those 14 seconds. Where's the Devils and the Kings? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me right now. There we go. Kings control in Devils territory. Forced out by New Jersey. Good stick on the high side. Doughty holding the stick, getting away with it. Byfield dumps it across to the Ferrier. Quick turn and shoot. Nobody home in front of the crease. Off the low boards, New Jersey breaking ahead one-on-one, but he can't control the puck. Dumped back in by the Kings. Slowed down behind the net, fed back out to neutral, and this will be tough to defend against, but turns out the Kings were ready. Back to the low side, Kempe. Can't reach it. 36 seconds more. Breaks across the red line, but he gets stopped. Collecting it again, Kempe goes backwards. Soft feed to the middle, backhand to the low corner. Chasing it down. Kopitar on the wall. New Jersey's able to feed it out to neutral. 14 seconds left as Panarin tries to get back in, and he gets tripped. That should have been a penalty. That should have been a penalty from what I saw. Looks like Timo Meier getting the open netter. I'd like to see that one again. We'll absolutely call it what it is when it's not, but I want to see that one again. Nope, it was not. I think Panarin was expecting something. Let's see. I think Panarin was just getting leaned on up high. Nah, Panarin just fell. That good no call. New Jersey wins it 6-4. Right on. All right, y'all. I got 23 minutes, so I'm going to head out of here. Keep an eye out. If you're not subbed already, just hit the sub. You'll see there's already the new one going. Just keep an eye out when it pops up. And we'll be back at 7 p.m. for the Blackhawks at the Golden Knights. Yeah, Wink. It was a good, nice empty netter. Good play. LA got aggressive, just too late. But yeah, Wink, if you're around in about 25 minutes, I will see you then. But for now, I'm not even saying goodnight. Hey, I'll see you guys in a couple minutes, all right? Let's grab something to eat, grab something to drink, and we'll go back to hanging out. Sweet, Wink. Sounds good, buddy. I will see you shortly.